Hey, Changemaker! Welcome to Learning for Good, the only podcast that teaches nonprofit leaders how to leverage training to drive performance, improve capacity, and fuel their mission impact. Do you ever feel like your nonprofit is growing, but your people just aren't keeping up? Or like you're fixing the same problems over and over? Do you wonder how to build confident, capable staff who know how to lead, not just execute? If we haven't met yet, I'm Heather, and I know how hard it can feel to get people to do what's expected of them. Trust me, I have 3 kids. I've tried telling people what to do and how. I've tried the traditional training approaches, and I realized that just doesn't work. And that's when I started researching what does work. Now, I help mission-driven leaders use learning to drive performance, build capacity, and make change that lasts. And I'm sharing it all on this podcast. So block your calendar, turn off your Teams or Slack chat, and let's dive in. It's Learning for Good. I can't believe we are already at the end of 2025. In just a few days, we'll be kicking off a new year. It's a time of reflection and goal setting and a renewed commitment to being our best selves. I love this time of year, and each year I like to spend some time reflecting on my goals, what I've been able to accomplish, and where I missed a little bit. So today we're going to do just that. I'm going to share some details about what's going on inside Skillmasters Market, my consulting business, Learning for Good, this podcast, and the Nonprofit L&D Collective, our private community for nonprofit training pros. You'll hear about the transformations of 2025 and what's coming in 2026. Let's dive in. It's Learning for Good. What a year 2025 has been, am I right? It's been a wild ride. I started the year hopeful and full of goals for my business. And pretty quickly into 2025, I realized I was going to have to pivot. And I'm quite sure you felt that too. So I want to talk today about how I've pivoted and what that means for you. I want to start by sharing my personal mission. I'm on a mission to help people do the most good in a way that feels good. And I do that through training. I work with nonprofits all around the country and help them identify their performance needs and solve for them in a way that feels simple. Sometimes that means I'm creating workshops for people managers. Sometimes I'm creating training for early childhood educators. Sometimes it's for doulas and midwives. Sometimes it's for program directors. I've created leadership development programs. I've created e-learning, created live training sessions. None of that matters. That's the what. What's important is the why. And I do it because I want nonprofits to operate more efficiently and sustainably. And I want nonprofit teams to be aligned and focused on their goals. And I want individual nonprofit staff to feel confident and competent in their roles. I want them to be able to do the most good in a way that feels good. So this year, I started out with some goals, and I wanted to work with 5 clients in 2025. And I wanted at least one of them to come from the podcast or the collective or LinkedIn, right? The places that I show up most frequently, because that's where I have the most opportunity to be myself and show up authentically and talk about what I do and why I do it. So I closed out 2 clients at the beginning of the year, and I added 3 more clients throughout 2025. So I barely squeaked by, but I did actually get to work with 5 different clients in 2025. And I'm proud to say that at least one of them did find me through LinkedIn. I worked with one client on a customer service training for their nonprofit staff, and we have a new project queued up and ready to go. I worked with another client on a people manager workshop and created a roadmap for future development, so it's not a one-time thing. And I started as a fractional L&D leader for the 3rd new client, so I'll be providing some ongoing support to them as their stand-in L&D leader. I'm excited for what this year brought me, even though it was different than what I expected. and I'm carrying some lessons with me into 2026. I want to continue to refine how I talk about my work. I want to continue to reach out to people who can use my services, and I want to continue to show gratitude for those who have brought me in or referred me to others. I could not do what I do without people who share my work with other people. So that's the business side of things. Now, the podcast. I would like to one day say we made it to the top 1% of all podcasts. We aren't there yet, but this podcast is the top 2.5% globally ranked podcast, and it made several other podcast lists this year, including top 50 nonprofit podcasts, top talent development podcasts, top instructional design podcasts. So it's been on several lists, and that's been fun and exciting. This podcast has reached over 17,000 downloads, so thank you to everyone who downloads and listens to the podcast each week. And as of October of this year, we had seen an 83% growth compared to the same period last year. The top episodes, which I always find intriguing, so I thought you might too. The top episodes are your nonprofit leaders the best they can be. Your leadership skills might be lagging, and this is why. Using a blended cohort training model to create behavior change with nonprofit leader Rebecca Kelly. Want to work in nonprofit L&D? Here's what you should know. Using AI to create persuasive visual stories with Nicholas Leonard. How to conduct a training needs analysis for nonprofit staff development. That's interesting, right? We'll drop the links to those in the show notes. It's been a great year for the podcast, and I'm excited for what's ahead. I have a full calendar planned for you all, including episodes on reducing staff turnover, preparing your emerging leaders for their new roles. It's great if you promote from within, right? Creating an organizational culture that drives consistent performance, and more. I have 2 requests for you as a podcast listener. One, would you leave me a review in Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen? Reviews help us reach more people and land amazing guests who contribute to your experience here. This is such an easy way to show your support, and it makes a big difference for the podcast. 2, tell me what you want to hear more of or less of on the podcast. You can ask a question or make a request through our SpeakPipe link, which I'll also drop in the show notes. We want to hear from you. So that's it for the podcast. Next up, the Nonprofit L&D Collective. Inside the Nonprofit L&D Collective, our goal is to build nonprofit L&D careers. We want nonprofit L&D pros to get access to the people, resources, and partners they need to really thrive. It's like the operating system you didn't know you needed for your career. And the collective is another place I pivoted this year. My goal was to reach 100 members, which we did pretty early in 2025, and I believe we're now over 150. And with this growth and some of the needs and opportunities I was seeing, I knew we had to make some changes. So we moved to a new community platform where we could have discussions, events, and resources all in one place. And we added a paid tier of the community. We call these members Catalysts because they are truly focused on creating change for their organizations. And Catalysts get access to free networking events like everyone else, but they also get group coaching and workshops and additional learning opportunities throughout the year. We also added partners. So these are people who offer things that are L&D adjacent, but are important to our careers. So we have an LMS partner, a project management partner, an AI partner, and a career search partner. So what's coming in 2026? We are hosting several ticketed events, like mini conferences for the nonprofit L&D community. In January, we're hosting a career week. So you need to go ahead and get registered for that. You're not going to want to miss that one. And later in the year, we'll have events focused on learning design and leading learning in nonprofits and associations. We're also bringing in sponsors in 2026. My goal has always been to keep this affordable for nonprofit pros. Joining as a Catalyst, which is our paid tier, it's only $97 a year. And the value is really so much higher than that. So we want to offset some of our costs while also getting the right vendors in front of our members. And this will help us pay our speakers, which is a goal I have for 2026, and guide people to the right vendors for their needs. So that's something new that's coming. And my goal is to continue to create that sense of community within the group. I want nonprofit L&D pros to know where to go if they need quick responses to questions, who to call if they need a deeper dive into a situation they're facing, and to really just feel all around supported in their careers. And that doesn't happen without deep roots in the community. So in addition to our group networking events, which we hold every month, we're also launching one-on-one networking with the help of our sponsor, Community Hives. Community Hives helps organizations reimagine engagement through simple, login-free tools that spark genuine one-on-one connection. If you're looking for a way to make connection and one-on-one networking easier for your organization, I'd highly recommend checking out Community Hives. The platform is amazing, and I'm really excited to bring that to the collective in 2026. So if you're a Nonprofit L&D Pro, come join us inside the Nonprofit L&D Collective. Join us for Career Week as well. 2026 is going to be a year to remember. All right, friend, I'll see you in 2026. It's Learning for Good. Hey, friend, was this episode helpful for you? Did you like what you heard? Do you want more content like this? Here are 3 things you can do. Hit subscribe. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice. Share this episode with a colleague. This means so much to me personally. I read every review, but it also helps me learn what content you like most so I can create more of what you want. All right, turn that Teams or Slack chat back on when you're ready, and I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.